The truth lives. Political bombshell.
Welcome to Political Bombshell. I'm your host, Rasean Blyden. Many things to go over today. So let's get it started. Let's see what our lovely president has been doing lately. Well, once again, he's putting America down. I'm not surprised by that. He says that we've been a little bit lazy. Obama sees a different kind of American energy crisis than us normal folks do. Let me read a little quote that he said here. But we've been a little bit lazy. I think over the last couple of decades, we've kind of taken for granted, well, people will want to come here and we aren't out there hungry, selling America and trying to attract new business into America. Can anyone out there in the listening land tell him one word? Just send him a message from Rasean Blyden. Tell him I have one word to sum it up. One word why the businessmen and businesswomen aren't hungry and trying to bring business to America. Can we say regulations? Hello? Regulations. You are over regulating the hell out of everyone. Why would you want to come here? Why not go elsewhere where you're not over regulated? That's why, Mr. President. It's not that we're lazy. It's that you're business smart. Why would you come to do business in a country where there's heavy regulations? You're just going to cost yourself so much more money. So, who could blame them? I definitely don't. I'm always striving to be my own businessman, but with all these regulations, that would never happen. Look at what he's trying to do to the coal industry. So, you, sir, and if you want to really dig deep to find the answer, you don't have to go that deep. The big R word, regulations, regulated. You over-regulate everything. That's why it's been like that. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys watched the debate, but I watched it, and Michelle Bachmann, she brings up a really interesting comment, and I'm not surprised by the story because the liberal media has always been biased. That's just who they are. They're biased. So Michelle Bachmann suggests that the campaign manager says the CBS analyst is a piece of S. You know the rest of it, piece of shit. So, in an email exchange, a CBS employee notified CBS political analyst John Dickerson that Bachmann's spokeswoman Alice Stewart had volunteered the candidate for an interview on Dickerson's post-debate webcast. The employee copied Stewart on the email and told Dickerson that she had been CC'd, you know, when you send emails and you send a carbon copy. So, what else? So Dickerson replied, apparently unaware that Stewart was on the email chain. See, this is why you gotta be careful. Some people actually do that. They hit reply all and not know and send out really nasty emails. But let me continue here. Okay, this is what the email said. Okay, let's keep it loose though, since she's not going to get many questions and she's nearly off the charts, in the hopes that we can someone else he's wrote. I'm not sure what the heck that means. Sounds like mumble jumble, but pretty much what happened is they got caught with their pants down. He didn't realize that her campaign spokeswoman was on the email, and when he replied, she got the reply too. So I'm not surprised by that at all. Here's something that's kind of surprising. Two national polls show Gingrich on the rise, now in second place. I don't. Who goes by these polls? I mean, a CBS poll? Why would you trust a CBS poll? But let me continue here. In the CBS poll, Gingrich is tied with Mitt Romney for second place, behind Herman Cain. Let's see. The McClatchy Morris poll. I don't even know what the hell poll that is. Never heard of it. And on the other hand, places Romney in the lead of 23%, Gingrich a close behind of 19%, and Cain trails by 17%. I really don't go by polls. I really don't. I really, really don't. The polls try to shape the race, believe it or not. The polls are just there to try to shape your mind. So don't pay attention to the polls. You know, you listen to what the candidate has to offer, and you go by your gut basic instincts. Don't go by a poll says this person is polling well, is not polling well, or whatever. Now, this is one that I had to smile at. An 18-year-old elected mayor of a small Iowa town. I mean, that's just pretty funny. So, let me see. Can't M-I-N-N-I-E-R, Minor? I guess it's Minor. Minor won a write-in campaign in Tuesday's election, beating his 76-year-old incumbent. He's 76. It's sad to say, but a youngster we most likely will always beat someone who's very old. Beat his incumbent opponent and getting himself elected as mayor. There's only 74 residents in that town, and just 32 ballots were cast. Minor won 24 of them, and the other guy, Virgil Homer, only won 8. So, like I said, I mean, he's really 18. It's good, and he's still in high school, by the way. It's going to be interesting to see how he runs that little town, but guaranteed he'll run the town better than Obama runs the country, that's for sure. He also did that he had to start somewhere, and he always liked volunteering. And here's something that grabbed me with the kid. It really grabbed me. Where is he said? He said here, I've been a leader my whole life. I have to agree with him on that. Leaders know who they are, and followers know who they are. Like, I've always had a leading, personality rather than a follower. I've never followed. When I tried that, it just failed miserably because I'm not a leader. I mean, I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. So I can't follow. It's just not compatible. So, wish this kid good luck. Hopefully he does a good job. And I'll have to do a follow-up on that story in the coming months. See how he's doing. Now here's something that's pretty interesting. Alan West was talking about Herman Cain. He goes, conservative minorities scare liberals. Hell yeah, we do. We scare the hell out of them. So let me go on. West said that he believes conservative minorities scare liberals, and liberals believe conservative blacks are supposed to be part of the 21st plantation. He is so right on that. I mean, it's scary how right he is on that. And I refuse, like I said, to be a follower. I'm not going to be on a plantation following anyone. I'm going to lead to where I want to go. It's just like when I got into the music business. I didn't go through all the different channels that you're supposed to go through to make it. I did my own thing. The only thing that could stop me is myself. So, that's a good analysis by Alan West. They really fear us black conservatives. It's the truth. Now, here's something else that boiled my blood. I really don't listen to liberal talk radio, so I came across this story, and I had to talk about this because it's just wrong. It's wrong and it's sick and it's pathetic. So the liberal radio host Bill Press, he compared Herman Cain to the accused Penn State molester. Let's just stop for a second and think about that. He's comparing Herman Cain to the Penn State molester, and it's more than molested. Based on the stories, it's also been rape of young little boys. He's comparing Herman Cain to that with these accused bimbos, whores. A story's just got out saying that I think it's the Chicago Tribune, that she's hurting for money and her boyfriend is bankrupt. Of course he's going to come up with allegations. I have more stories and I'll go down a list as to why, to undermine these women's stories. You'll be stunned by what I have to say about that. Stunned. So, anyway, I continue on. In what is being dubbed as a smear of the year by radio equalizer liberal talk host Bill Press, he actually equated Herman Cain with the same disgrace as Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky. I mean, it's just pathetic. These women are nothing but white trashy gold digging sluts trying to get over on Herman Cain for money because they're hurting for money. I'll come up on a story pretty soon that explains that this one woman in particular, she is hurting for money. Her boyfriend is also hurting for money. So why not try to milk something out of Herman Cain? It's pathetic the way how the media just jumps all over Herman Cain without any evidence. It's obvious that these people want him to not be the nominee because he's the absolute polar different from Obama. Polar difference. Anyway, that just pisses me off. How you're gonna compare rapists to Herman Cain? Oh God. What's his name again? Bill Press? You are pathetic. Pathetic, Bill Press. Now here's a story. Here's a pretty decent story, and I'm not sure the validity of this story, but it says here, could urine soon power your home? Well, a new study published by researchers at the University of West England in Bristol, well, West England, of course, states that urine is full of chemicals that can be used to generate electricity. With each flush could be draining valuable energy. So, according to this report, it's saying that 6.4 trillion liters of urine per day and farm animals of 38 billion liters per day. If it's done that way, it could work. Hey, I'm not a scientist or anything, so I have no idea. I say go for it. And speaking of green energy, here's one for you. Anyone own a Chevy Volt out there? Raise your hands. Let me see you. Well, here's a story that came out. New worries. Chevy Volt battery unexpectedly catches fire 3 weeks after being damaged. So that's pretty rough stuff there. If you get into an accident with the car and you think that all is well, 3 weeks later it could catch on fire. I mean, I saw the pictures, it was horrific. But anyway, it says here, critics of the Chevy Volt might think it's bad enough to be seen driving in one year. I'll say. Worse, however, is to be seen driving in a Chevy Volt and then have everything around you catch on fire. I mean, that's serious stuff. That really is. That's the latest problem for General Motors. Or government motors, I call them. But anyway, the manufacturers of the Chevy Volt, and it has prompted investigations from the U.S. auto safety regulators. See, that's why you just don't try to rush technology. That's the problem. Yeah, you could be all for green energy, but don't rush it. There's nothing wrong with the combustions of gasoline engines right now. They've been running for I don't know how many years. When the time comes for change, instead of forcing the change, then we will know. The consumers will let you know. But when you try to rush and force things to market, this is what happens. So if you're driving a Chevy Volt, try not to get into an accident, because you never know, weeks later your investment may go up in smoke. Sorry. It's just pathetic. I'm so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Here's something that's really, really sad. Any of you people are you in the Occupy movement? Or are you one of those persons? Here's a sad story for you. Occupy Salt Lake City, ordered to leave after man found dead in his tent. That's right. You never hear these things about the Tea Party. Because Tea Partiers like myself, we're more civil no matter how the media try to make us look. We're more civil. Anyway. Let me read this. Occupy Salt Lake City. Demonstrators have been ordered to leave a Utah's park after a man in his 40s was found dead Friday morning. Salt Lake Police Chief Chris Burbank said the man appears to have died from a combination of carbon monoxide, poisoning, and a drug overdose sometime around 2 a.m. The Salt Lake Tribune reported. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. And I actually just come from writing a song about that. Not specifically, but a new song I was working on. I said basically sex and drugs, they lead to depression. But I'll leave that topic for my Ray Dog's Random Thoughts. Now, I myself believe that the Tea Party movement doesn't have a leader, and it doesn't. It's a grassroots organization. It has nothing to do with one or any person leading us. So when I read this story, one moment, pardon me. When I read this story that the Tea Party leader said Herman Cain must go, the first thing that came to my head is, the Tea Partiers, we have no leader. But anyway, this vocal leader of Tea Party Nation has a message for Herman Cain.
Hard work and never stop to smell the roses, and as long as the blood flows through my veins, I'll keep on working hard, don't you hear what I'm saying? Sex and drugs only cause stress, only thing it do is make you depressed. Ain't nothing left but death, as I prepare to take my game up a step. Man, they wanna kick me down, so I sit back before I break my neck, as quiet as his cab.
Mr. Phillips endorsed former House Speaker Newt Gingrich earlier this year. No offense, but Newt Gingrich, to me, he's just like the good old boys. There's a reason why he left being Speaker of the House. There's gotta be a reason for that. And maybe he is the most knowledgeable, but I'd rather see him as the VP for Cain. So I don't like endorsing anyone. I just like to sit back and just soak in all the details or information, and then make a rational choice when it's time to vote. So, Mr. Phillips, your opinion doesn't matter. I'm a Tea Partier and you are not my leader. We have no leader. It's a grassroots organization. So you could take your opinions really and stuff it. Now, the investigator says that Herman Cain, innocent of sexual advances. This is CBS Atlanta. The private investigator T.J. Ward said that the presidential hopeful Herman Cain was not lying at the news conference on Tuesday in Phoenix. He said that Cain denied making any sexual actions towards Sharon Bialik, whatever the hell you pronounce her name, and vowed to take a polygraph test if necessary to prove his innocence. Cain has not taken a polygraph, but Ward said he does have some software. I'd like to find this software he has. Some software that does something better. Ward said the $15,000 software, second thought, I don't think I could afford that. Software can detect lies in people's voices. CBS Atlanta's Mike Pawlowska played Cain's speech for Ward into the software and watched as it analyzed Cain's every word. If he is hiding something, this thing would have spiked way down here, and Ward said that he's being truthful, totally truthful. He's a man with integrity, and he talked directly about not knowing anything of the incident that he was accused of. So I was surprised that CBS actually aired that. Something that's saying that Herman Cain was completely truthful and honest in his opinions. I was really shocked by that. And here's some more facts. Some facts that undermine the Cain accusers' story. Here's one fact. The accuser hugged him at a Tea Party meeting a month ago. She filed for bankruptcy twice, once in 1991 and again in 2001, which might make her a likely target for a payoff from someone who wanted to execute a political hit. Here's some more reasons why Cain accusers' stories undermined it. In a court case which was eventually discharged, she accused a former boyfriend of harassing her for repayment of a loan. She didn't tell her fiancé about her past until last Friday. Think about that. She didn't tell her fiancé about the past until last Friday. Her own father only found out about the allegations on Monday. She used to live in the same apartment building as David Axelrod. If that's not a smoking gun, I don't know what is. A friend of the accuser was quoted in the New York Post calling her a gold digger. Her own friend called her a gold digger. Think about that. The accusations against Herman Cain, if true, would constitute sexual assault. The accuser did not file sexual assault charges against him. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All those reasons as to why she's lying and he's telling the truth. So I don't think I need to say any more on that. It's pathetic. No one's falling for your assault on Herman just to try to get him off the political map because you liberal media and liberals fear him. Freddie Mac. Oh, Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac loses $4.4 billion in the third quarter. So what do? They want more money from us, of course. They're requesting $6 billion more from the Treasury. If that's not a bite in the ass, I don't know what is. Government-controlled mortgage giant Freddie Mac has requested $6 billion in additional funds after they lost $4.4 billion in the third quarter, or you could 1.86 per share. in July-September quarter. So that compares with a loss of 4.1 billion or 1.25 a share in the same quarter of 2010. Oh God, they really need to just get rid of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They really need to phase it out and get it back into the private sector. The government is not good at running anything. Don't you understand that, people? Herman Cain asked about recent sexual allegations during the CNBC GOP debate, and the crowd booed. They did not want any part of it. The debate was about, what was it about? I'm having what do you call it? I'm having a brain freeze, a Rick Perry moment. I'm forgetting what I was gonna say. That's not funny, but I felt so bad for Rick Perry when he couldn't remember. I mean, he's trying to bounce back and he's trying to make light of it, and hopefully that wasn't his undoing. But if you're gonna name three sectors that you're gonna cut out of the government, you better damn well know them or have them written down so you could look on it. You really screwed up. You really did. You really, really did. So anyway, they booed Sharon Bellick, not Sharon Bellick. I'm sorry. Well, they booed whatever her name was. I can't even remember her name when she asked that question. Okay, what else? There's not much else. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something about them booing, but I can't remember, so I have to leave it there. Till next time, don't forget to tune in to politicalbombshow.org or give us a call, 858-233-9337.
Political corruption, misinformation, a new sheriff coming to town. No politician is allowed. They're all too corrupted. Political bomb, so come on people, let's go. Political bomb, so come on people, let's go.